Alright, so been to the bar, we've completed those objectives. Roy Mitchell is the bartender here. Roy Mitchell runs the only bar on Darkwater. Prohibition has no hold on the stranded whale, and sailors come to seek some comforts in Mitchell's whiskey. The man therefore knows, more than anyone, the secrets and rumours that the inhabitants of the island exchange after a few glasses. Mitchell is devoted to the golden age of whale hunting, if the numerous trophies that decorate his establishments are anything to go by. The man will talk freely on this subject, on which he is so keen, but he will be far less enthusiastic if one was to inquire about his source of liquor. He said she, so I think he might have just given the game away there. Stranded Whale, a bar where liquor is served with total impunity. It's the last thing I expected to find when I arrived on this island. Is this a surprise of Fitzroy's? The Stranded Whale is its name, and it's managed with an iron hand by the owner, a certain Mitchell. He does not tolerate troublemakers, and he fiercely protects the identity of his supplier. All the inhabitants of the area seem to go there, and I even saw what looks to be a truce between the bootleggers and the sailors. That was the ruckus that was going on outside. Just through that window there.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
Asylum staff.
He laughed.
My God.
You said it.
She will do it again, you know.
Oh,
The girl doctor. Cold it. She won't stop asking.
not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I know.
The Chancy, 1847.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
That was, 77 years ago, if my math is good. Miraculous catch. The Skylar returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We had given up hope. The crew of the Skylar, or what remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. The locals immediately rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond that of the formidable toothed whales, I should know how to pronounce that word, but I can't. Cetacean? I'll go with that. The cetacean that is already being called the miraculous catch covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hanging over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told a frightening account of their perilous catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in its quality and plentiful nutritious benefits. Frightening accounts. Oh. Did they have to bargain for it, perhaps? There is no doubt that the immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which part of the island was suffering. Warehouse for rent. Mr. Marks is putting his warehouse up for rent from June, for fishing, workshop, or storage activities. You can contact him via your favourite newspaper or visit him on the docks. Just looking at the text on the bottom left there, I can read it on my screen. Doesn't mention anything about it potentially being Warehouse 36. Special evening at the Stranded Whale. It was called the Stranded Whale 77 years ago. To celebrate the return of our brave whalers, all the staff of the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with friends to taste the miraculous catch. Each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so don't hesitate. It's an occult clue. Yeah. I wonder if they had to make a bargain to get that. The miraculous catch is what the locals called the last catch of their whalers. In 1847, although whales were disappearing from the fishing zone of the Darkwater whalers, the crew of the Scylla made a gigantic and monstrous catch that saved the island from famine. They still celebrate this catch, and an article from the Times still decorates the bar. It's strange how the memory seems so alive, as if it was maintained by the survivors. Extract from Edward Pierce.
And then he said,
Right, we have someone here.
The doctor. What did he say?
Bunch of people singing. Can I speak to this gentleman who I kicked over? No. We saw her in the cutscene. She was speaking that... I'm not sure what that's called. It's not a pipe, some sort of stick. Smoking stick. Just trying to see if that goes down, or... Is that the outside? No, the outside's all the way over there. That must lead downstairs, or maybe into a storeroom. Or maybe just across there. Alright, let's have a chat to some of the other inhabitants of the stranded whale.
She will do it again, you know.
This person's reading and he has glasses, so clearly he is very smart.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
And the doctor. What did he say?
Alright, we can't actually converse with him like we have the other characters. Algernon Drake. Not sure what he's talking about. Can I join in the singing?
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
It's wonderful ambience. What is this song? Whatever it is, it's quite nice.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
I saw the newspaper clipping. You don't believe it, do you?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
So the whales disappeared naturally due to overfishing or whatever else. The last whale they caught was the biggest and the largest, and maybe the oldest, and maybe there was something mystical about it. Let's have a chat to you, ma'am. What's your story?
What you looking at, stranger?
I'm going to say nothing at all.
I'm just passing by. Sorry.
Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
Nothing, okay. I do wonder if I'd said something different, whether that would have led to something else, but we can't speak to her. She was watching us during that cutscene, though, where we kicked over this dude's stool. So she's definitely keeping an eye on us. Is this door locked? Absolutely. We're not lockpicking it, and I think she's got line of sight on us here, so... I think we've exhausted everything there is to see in the bar. I do wonder if something terrible is going to happen when we leave, though. When this guy's going to come after us or not.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
What does that say down the bottom? Something always free for the lady? That's how much people owe. Alright. Can I pick up that lantern? No. God, it's giving us such a weird green glow. Alright, we definitely can't see what's in the back room there. Do I want to do that medicine check now? I don't think I'm going to find anything else without heading into the Harbour Master's office, and I've got a terrible feeling that maybe the game will progress if I go up there. During my testing, I couldn't see any way of actually saving the game. It's basically just a continuous save. Once I've made a decision or a certain dialogue action, I'm stuck with it. Yeah, let's have a look at this whale.
Damn stupid idiot.
Medicine check.
Forget it. Nobody listens.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Killer whales have few predators. And there are no sharks in these waters. What creature could possibly have done this?
You can't understand.
These wounds. I know of no animal that could have inflicted them.
Don't put that.
These wounds.
You can't understand. You're not. You can see that I'm busy, can't you? You can't understand. Don't put that.
Just the way his face looks reminds me of the dudes from Dark Corners.
They can't understand.
And yes, that is a positive. Shut the door behind you, Edward, really.
What can I get you?
Can we talk about this whale? Hello. I'm glad I came back.
Charles Hawkins owed you a lot of money. Do you know if he had problems?
I don't know the details, and it's not my business. Money or not, he was always welcome in my bar. The Hawkins family was always much appreciated on the island.
He might have just been a heavy drinker.
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. They saved Darkwater from famine.
You seem to know Charles Hawkins well. How about his wife, Sarah Hawkins?
Well, she was a local somebody. We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Then
I've got what...
anything...
They all believe in this story, and at this point I'm inclined to believe it's obviously true, but there's clearly something sinister behind it.
That'll be all for now.
The way he said, oh, Charles has run up a tab, I thought he was going to be flat out accusing the dude of killing him or trying to get the money back. I assume that's a warehouse directly ahead. Okay, there's Fitzroy. That there's Skylar, whaling ship. That's how we got here. I can open that door, but let me go through the open door first. That seems more polite. And heck, we're just on the other side of that door there. Okay. Close the door behind us because we're polite. A bell, we don't need to ring that right now. Can I just casually search the place, sir? Will you mind?
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Guessing not. Captain, the terms of our agreements are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier. Cat. The bootleggers, perhaps?
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. Broken. This place seems half abandoned.
I won't try going out that door just yet.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Sperm whales, something whales.
A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years.
77 years at least.
A souvenir from a more prosperous... A Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
Yeah, it's just out there. Oh, this place is a wreck. Again, this sickly glow. I kind of love it. Second volume teaches ethics and good practice to medical staff. We're not there yet. That gave us 2%. 12 to 14. Don't mind me, sir. I'm just going to go up here and look for some occult and or medical books. Gotta be honest, I don't recognize any of those flags there. Well, okay, maybe I recognize France and England and Scotland perhaps, but everything else is a bit of a mystery to me.
What a macabre souvenir.
Edward?
What a macabre souvenir.
Do you not know how to say macabre? Why is that macabre? What is that? Oh, that's someone's leg, isn't it? Jesus. Okay, that makes sense now.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
Are they not the same person? They must have been his father or grandfather, perhaps. In this photograph, a man who looks like Captain Fitzroy is posing on the bridge of a ship. He has a wooden leg. That is the leg we're looking at on the right. Nothing in there. I imagine that's going to unlock an option when we speak to him downstairs. Any clues in the latrine? Right, I give this bathroom a 10 out of 10 simply because it exists. You can come in here, you can't do anything, but it's surprisingly well modeled, well rendered. And yeah, there's no reason to go in there, but I'm glad I did. 10 out of 10. There's nothing hiding behind you, sir? No. Alright, so you say you have a bunch of documents for me. Please elaborate.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
The ship that we came in? Right, the manifests.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Only a few dates are still legible. 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden? That is a very good question. Why would these be blacked out? What were they transporting? It was before Prohibition, so they wouldn't be transporting alcohol. Don't know at this time. Still have 1 character points. Clues. We've seen all those. Inventory. Nothing new there. Right, we've looked at that. There's nothing cunningly hidden around here. No. You're going out to the deck? Oh, you just mean you're going outside on this balcony here. Okay. Tell me more, sir.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
I'll ask that towards the end. That's inflammatory, but I think we have to ask it. Let's start here.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailors' return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
Already done.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
The wounds are unnatural.
I examined its wounds. I know of no creature able to cause them.
And I took you for a detective.
Believe me when I say that these wounds are significant.
Come. You've only just arrived on Darkwater, and already you think like a sailor.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least.
What would they do with it, though, once they're done? Presumably they can't eat it. They'll just throw it back into the water. Could they eat it? I guess they could, couldn't they?
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance.
Grandfather?
I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Close enough.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I'll go and check that out in a sec, I think. Okay, so at the risk of destroying our relationship that we've got going on here, who is Cass?
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I wonder if she's the alcohol supplier. Your documents, the manifests, they've all been crossed out.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
If the documents were in the Harbour Master office and you're in charge of this, doesn't that mean you were potentially the one who blacked them out? Yeah, that's very true. There was a date after 1847.
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
That's fair, I think. Alright, Warehouse 36, the Hawkins Warehouse.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
Belonged to. Yeah, let's be honest.
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse.
I won't ask that.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
We have gained 1 character points. Oh, I've missed the stuff on the right there. Ah, I see. So I can do that on the left-hand side, and I can also take a look at this. Swimming carcass. Dude, thank you for the raid. I'm going to play the sound effect just for you. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate it. Gen P is here as well. How you doing, fellas? I'm guessing you weren't playing this. You're just popping in towards the end of my recording here as I'm trying to play this game. I'm enjoying this, though. Really enjoying this. I'm feeling the spoop. Alright, so I've missed the stuff on the right-hand side. Darkwater docks. On the approaches to Darkwater, I saw thick clouds masking the sky. They were so low, they seemed intent on impaling themselves on the sharp reefs that circle the island. Fitzroy, the captain of the only tub that manages to float to the mainland, offered to help me. He may have documents that belong to Charles Hawkins. Fitzroy advised me to visit the port's bar. We've done that. He mentioned a little pick-me-up. I suppose I can get the lay of the land at the same time. Fishermen have gathered around the carcass of a killer whale. I could have a look and see what the local cops have got to tell me. They're trying to drag it back into the water, and we've established that it was killed via an unnatural creature, perhaps. Captain Fitzroy offered to share with me what he has found on the Hawkins in the archives of the Harbour Master's office. I learned nothing from Fitzroy's documents, but I did get confirmation on what I've been suspecting since Boston. The warehouse mentioned on the shipping label of Sarah Hawkins' painting belongs to Hawkins. It's on the docks. I must find a way to get into it. We need to get through these fishermen here, clearly. Swimming, you were enjoying some Against the Storm. Now it's time to get spooked. It's not really spook, it's just more unnerving at this point. Can we look at this leg again?
What a macabre souvenir.
No, nothing new. Okay, so I think we're done in town, except for maybe heading towards warehouse. Swimming carcass. Unnerving is the best kind of spook. Absolutely. You weren't there before. Okay, that way is now cleared.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean, they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
I wonder if they're talking about Cass, and I assume it's her. I assume it's her. Who else would it be?
Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
Yeah, here we go.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post.
It's just a little drink. We taught those guys a lesson.
We'll return right after. Just that standing guard in this alley makes your throat dry.
That fool Fitzroy can't keep his dogs on a leash.
I'll have to send him a more clear-cut message.
Yeah, it's clearly her.
I told you to beat it.
Still not getting anything there. That dude's name is Dominic Murphy. And you must be Cass. Nothing new here?
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear
Nothing
at
new.
various locations.
Look at the tattoos on his right arm.
Gifted with its own consciousness. Until it finds
Kinda
a
freaky.
new reader.
Oh, we can get through there as well. How are you going with this carcass, fellas?
Oh, yeah. He's gonna get us into trouble.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in front of us.
Because its owner is dead. And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now please, leave us to our work.
You don't put that beast back.
You didn't tell me that the
Because and now,
You don't put
Yeah,
that
his
beast back in the
face
water, you
strongly reminds me of the villagers or the inhabitants of Innsmouth from Dark Corners.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anymore.
These wounds.
Nothing
You
new
can't
there.
understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming.
So I can go this way or I can go that way. What the hell is this? Graffiti I could understand, but graffiti in a language that no one understands is something else. Occult check.
St. Brendan. Patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
James Fitzroy. He's the captain of the, I can't pronounce that word, Charbis? The only boat that still sails between Darkwater and Boston. His base is a harbour master's office, from where he misses nothing that happens on the island. The inhabitants of Darkwater respect him. The bootleggers despise him. He offered to help me in my investigation. Who is his saint? Does the patron saint of Wales and whalers still protect the sailors of Darkwater? Visibly, there were other gods before St. Brendan, and their worshippers do not seem to be of this opinion. The locals still worship the old saint, but a mark was made on the statue by another cult. A cult, huh? The Navigator, 484 to 577. Is this safe?
There.
Not sure what we've accomplished by doing that. Find hidden items. The spot hidden skill allows you to detect items within close. I couldn't read that because that disappeared way too quickly, and I don't think there's a way we can get it back. I think I get it though. It's going to show up in grey unless we can actually pass the spot hidden check.
Hello, old friend.
Alright, this is where the alcohol is being stored. A key item. This bottle is part of a batch stolen from Cass, the boss of the bootleggers. An excellent way to lean on the guy who guards the entrance to the warehouse. Alright, thank you game for spoiling that puzzle. So I guess that's one way inside the warehouse. Not that I've actually, got to the warehouse yet. Yeah, there's definitely a few audio glitches. I can hear the audio sort of skipping. It's not serious and I'll be able to put up with it, but it is a thing that is there. Do you gentlemen have anything for me?
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
You drunk fellas. Massey Rocco, how you doing? Who is this saint?
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Go home, you drunk.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
Do we have to give an honest answer to that question?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Alright, maybe just go hide under there, you're drunk. You're already home, but go hide under there, please.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
How long ago was that?
So we drink.
If they caught the miraculous catch in whatever year it was, 77 years ago, you don't look 77 years old, just saying.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The warehouse.
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
That's a yes.
Nothing at all.
But we knew that anyway, so, you know.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
No, you won't. Speak to you shortly.
You can tell me. No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who. I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks. Not even, and don't go looking there.
It's alright, we already picked that lock. I assume we can get some information here.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Alright, not sure we really learned anything there. I assume that path is going to lead us towards the warehouse.
No idea. You better keep it shut.
Boy, we don't have a clear conscience.
Quiet.
And one of the ways I can get through maybe is by giving them the liquor that we stole I'm sorry, borrowed from the house over there. We haven't stolen it if we're just giving it back to them. That's how I see it. Alright, well, what's your story? Very well dressed.
Where do you think you're going?
Police officer. Yeah, what are you doing here? You moving the whale?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
Ah, okay, so you're the one guarding the warehouse. I give the alcohol to you.
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
I'd like to know more about the Hawkins case.
I don't think so.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly.
Who is Silas?
He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Okay, I might have just missed something there. I assume they're referring to the mansion up there. Did the Hawkins live up there and then rent this place? That's my surface level take on that.
You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Alright, we can't give him the alcohol at this time.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters.
Okay, so they're no longer standing guard. They've gone into the pub to have a drink. How much larger is this area?
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I'll be right.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
That might have unlocked something with Fitzroy, so I've got to go back there. Alright, not sure what the question mark down the bottom left is supposed to represent. Spot hidden, perhaps? Lever. This lever activates a mechanism.
A handle. It must come from these old winches.
That's generally how they work. We have a ladder going up. That looks absolutely dreadful.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
Which means I think we have to try it, don't we?
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
77 years. This part enables heavy loads to be lifted and held aloft without risk.
This ratchet device seems to be usable.
Before I go up that ladder and try playing around there, I'd like to speak to Fitzroy and see if he has anything to say about what was just said.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Do you have an unlocked dialogue? That's new. It's just that one.
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
I'm not the claustrophobic type, but all sewer levels are terrible. Let me just have a chat to these two bootleggers. I don't want to feed them the alcohol. I just want to see what they have to say for themselves, and then we'll try going in via the sewers.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
Damn. Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
That's a great line.
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
This is Warehouse 36, is it not? So the Hawkins own this place. Is Cat in charge now?
What are you guarding exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope you had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
In the neck?
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
Oh. Close enough.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're
I didn't say
bootleggers,
anything.
not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
Who's they?
The sailors.
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
Definitely not going to say that.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
I bid you gentlemen farewell.
Alright, so there was no option to hand over the alcohol. I do wonder whether perhaps I have to talk about Cat sending me to be able to do this. An excellent way to lean on the guy who guards the entrance. It mentions guy in the singular, so at this point I wonder if I need to chat to you again.
You again? I told...
No need.
No, nothing. I also wonder if Cat has anything to say. Now that we know her secret. And by that I mean we just know who she is. Can I get upstairs here at all? No, there isn't a second floor.
I told you to beat it.
Nothing. Alright, so I think we are forced to go through the sewer. I've got a bottle of alcohol which may let me in, but right now I don't see where to use it.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
Okay, we're clearly missing something else. Gear. Cogwheel.
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch.
The cogwheel is part of a mechanism. Much better.
Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle.
And I'm not a strong boy.
Damn, I broke it.
We're not getting in here. Alright, so if we can't get in this way, how do we get in? Do I have to find a way past these two bootleggers? That's going to be asking me to test my eloquence though, which I'm not a strong boy and I'm also not eloquent.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf.
Alright, never mind.
You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
I'm a visitor in your country, ma'am, so, you know. I had no idea.
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Is your name Kat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Jesus. Right in the
Get
baby
this
maker.
Joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
That was a timed conversation at the end there. I had to make a choice before the...
I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm going to have to deal with her.
I had to make a choice before time ran out by the looks of it. Okay, this is a problem. If we want to get inside the warehouse, we have to deal with her. I wonder what would have happened if I passed the strength check. Can I get up here? No. There's nothing up there anyway. The alcohol. What do I do with the alcohol? Sir, I was just attacked. Do your job.
You again? I told you to beat it.
No need to...
The police don't want to help me. Fitzroy, maybe? These two?
What's with you wandering?
We saw you. Go die.
We can test eloquence, but I
bid you
don't want to do that. I really don't.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
If we want to get into the warehouse, we're going to have to deal with her.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Can you help me deal with Cass?
Can you tell me where the warehouse is again?
Look, I've already shown it to you. It's the one with the cop on guard duty out front. You can't miss it.
Understood. I shall be on my way.
So come back.
She's sitting down there again. Roy?
What can I get you?
Some advice on how to deal with Cass.
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
We've seen this.
And that's not but all anything.
We've actually seen that somewhere. There's nothing in Sarah Hawkins.
You seem to know Charles.
Well, we are then.
Yep, seen
I've
that.
got
Anything?
That'll be all.
Alright, Cass, can we talk like gentlemen here?
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I owe you. You don't know how to fight, but at least you've got guts.
Why do you...
Yeah. Aching guts.
Huh. I've got them too. But you don't hear me whining like a pooch who's lost its leash. You didn't back down. Something that I respect. So understand by that. If I catch you again, you'll carry a more permanent reminder of our encounter. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
Why does she owe us? Yeah, I'm not going to lie to her.
I'm investigating the deaths of the Hawkins family.
It's very nice of you to tell me the truth so openly. But it's also really stupid of you. You really don't seem to know the area. Let me give you a little advice. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us. And they'll be here long after we're gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
Not at all.
I'm very serious. The whole family died in a fire. And I've got reason to believe that there's still more to be said on the subject.
Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
Oh boy.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me. And I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
Can we discuss the nature of the favor in advance before we accept this? I'm guessing not.
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, Detective. Follow me.
Nobody questions your authority here. I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit, and nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him.
Beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots!
Forget it.
So just before we go here, let me have a look at you. Cats, 24, gang boss. Boss of a gang of bootleggers, which seems to use Darkwater as a hideout. Cat always keeps an eye on her territory, the zone of abandoned warehouses on the docks. I have the impression that all the men on Darkwater fear her. Even Mitchell, the owner of the stranded whale, is reluctant to talk about her. She uses Darkwater as a point of departure for her cargoes of whiskey, and she is slowly gnawing away at Captain Fitzroy's territory.
That's no way to treat an omen. Oh, yeah.
I do wonder how we can use the bottle that I got out of the docks there to get past either these two or that guy.
Okay.
So that mind me just taking a quick look around for any medical journals. Broken ladder.
Be a gentleman and move that for me.
Is that the nature of said favor? Okay, so I imagine if I got into the sewers, I would pop out there. But I failed that check. Or maybe that's a scripted fail.
That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
We're inside.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
Alright, so unfortunately there is a little bit of a weird break there because checkpoints put me in a different location and I'm recording at a different time. What did that say? I missed that because I was talking. To enter a reconstruction scene, hold the shoulder buttons. Okay. We've got like a weird frost effect going on. I can't tell if that looks significantly different or not. Maybe we're in the past. These are different though. Ooh, entrails.
It smells as bad as it looks.
Lovely. Is this a medicine check? It is.
Can't sleep. I know how that feels.
Sleeping pills. I mean, that all looks perfectly normal, except for that pile of green stuff in there. Can't tell if that's rainwater or something a bit more sinister. That's another psychology check. That is an occultism check. We're probably going to fail the occultism and the medicine checks, but I don't see what else to do here. Hello. No, we can't interact with that. Never mind. Alright, let's try some of these checks and see what happens.
These painkillers were prescribed 3 months ago. Someone has been taking them since the time of the Hawkins death. What happened here?
My immediate thought is he didn't like what he was looking at.
Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Are you worshipping that? I mean, if you're afraid of it, if you're holding a hand up there like you're afraid of it, I would think that you would get up on your feet and run away, or maybe even just cower behind this little crate here, maybe cower down here and turn away from it, but you're looking directly at it. I view that as you're kind of worshipping it.
What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here?
Is this Charles? And if so, why is he sleeping on the floor like this? Okay, let's leave the scene. We've gained a character points. Yeah, physically it looks very, very similar to where we just were, and yeah, that you'd expect that to make sense, but I really don't see what the need is to go into the reconstruction. That's here. That's here. The painting's there. The pills are there. I'm very confused by that. But we can't interact with any of this stuff now. We've been in the warehouse, but did we actually learn anything? I imagine something's going to happen when we go outside. We did pick up a new clue, though. Hawkins Warehouse. Officially unused since Charles Hawkins' death, this warehouse recently housed a clandestine residence. Signs of life attest to the fact. The presence of blood-stained bandages must also be noted, probably removed from a wound, as well as pills, painkillers, and sleeping pills. Moreover, the occupant seems to be obsessed with Sarah Hawkins, as attested by the presence of several documents connected to the artist's life, photograph, press cutting. But it is the discovery of a partly charred painting, recognised by Officer Bradley as having come from the Hawkins mansion, that allows all doubts to be lifted as to the links between the contents of this building and the Hawkins case. That seems like a bit of a leap. So the person we saw hanging out here wasn't one of the Hawkins? Maybe it's someone who's been hanging out here after their death. Also, these green lamps, that doesn't give me a good feeling.
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
That's Fitzroy behind him, right? But we saw an Officer Andrews talking. I kind of immediately suspect that it's you who's hanging out in here. Someone else is interested in Hawkins.
Look around you. Someone has settled in here. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene. Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again.
The favor.
This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Dang.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you. At the top of the ridge.
Yeah, we saw it. It's all the way up there.
You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Bradley's being surprisingly cooperative. I'm very suspicious about that.